What is happening at J Gamer Dude here? Now let's talk about how Xbox Game Pass is in fact a failure. Now, I'm going to be saying a lot of real inflammatory things. I am definitely be going on a hell of a more of an offensive than I usually do, because normally I like to think through things calmly, but I feel like because right now I'm going to be showing you a case of play stupid games, win stupid prizes type of thing. Normally I don't like pointing out comments, but I feel like it should probably be mentioned that this is not how you kind of do discourse. But so there was a comment in one of my previous videos saying people like trashing Xbox for no apparent reason, to which I then responded to the individual, I want Sony to fail so they become competitive, but Xbox does such a bad job at making PlayStation competitive that's not even funny. To which I then get the response, your video, Xbox is a failure, doesn't show you want PS to fail, just trashing Xbox like everyone else for no apparent reason. I then respond with, then why are Xbox doing so much worse when it comes to numbers and general consumer perceptions? That's what makes it so easy to talk about them. Are you not annoyed about barely getting 90 plus Metacritic exclusives on Xbox, the shift for less exclusivity on Xbox, the closure of studios that make excellent games like Tango Gameworks, and letting go of thousands of staff? Phil Spencer going on constant apology tours, releasing broken buggy messes like Redfall, buying up lots of companies and big ones at that, and not doing much with them, at least not yet from what it seems. Surely you gotta look at things and maybe consider it ain't the best at the moment. There is a better future for Xbox somewhere, and hopefully we can reach it at some point. It just seems unlikely as of now. To which I then get the response, you're just biased, no point in arguing really. My simple, clear-cut response to this individual, you're a lost cause. So when given reasoning and just saying someone is biased is just not the way to do constructive conversation, and this guy did something, said some real, pretty much it was just that one comment of like, yeah, you're just biased. It's like, you're not even listening, so there's no point in talking anymore. So with that being said, let's now completely deck Xbox Game Pass in the face now this time around instead, where for some reason, so what made Xbox Game Pass better than PlayStation Plus, at least from the general perception, is it's a lot simpler. There's only 3 tiers, and those tiers are used for different things. You had Xbox Game Pass, which was the library of games available to you on the Xbox console, and the games added to it would be available day one. So Xbox exclusives, whatever have you, would just appear there. All those games would be available to you. Then you had Xbox Game Pass for PC. Slightly more expensive, but hey, it's Game Pass for the PC audience. They get a separate group of games that they have access to, but and that's only on the PC platform. Then you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is a amalgamation of both Game Pass and Game Pass for PC. So you have the Ultimate Game Pass experience with Game Pass Ultimate. Now, this is actually The Verge article written by Tom Warren, but I think it might be easier to go to his Twitter and actually watch the interestingness unfold effectively. So, what Tom Warren tweeted was, Microsoft's whole Play Day One Game Pass message gets messy now, and I would say it gets really messy, really. So we have Xbox Game Pass Core, $10 a month, and you get access to about 20 games or something like that. Cool. Also, you do not get games day one on that, so okay, fair enough. PC Game Pass, $12 a month. You do get games on day one that are Xbox exclusives or whatever have you. Now here's where things get interesting. Game Pass for console, people who have had Game Pass before July, pretty much if you've had Game Pass in the past and is still recurring even to this day, you will be paying $11 a month, and day one games are, so games like exclusives do come day one. Then you have people who are new to Game Pass, rather than getting Game Pass for console, which is now no longer available, you will only be able to choose Game Pass Standard, which is for only new subscribers, costs $15 a month, and you do not get access to games day one. So stuff like the exclusives and all of the marketing push and everything that's going on. And then you've got Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is $20 a month, and you do get access to day one games. So to kind of put things into perspective, that's just a simplified summary of what's going to happen into the future. The price hikes look a little something like this. So PC Game Pass subscribers were only paying $10 a month. That is now going up to $12 a month. As mentioned in the Tom Warren article, there you go. Tweet. $12 a month. Day one games are available. So those exclusives. Then you've got stuff like... here we go. Game Pass Ultimate was actually $17 a month, and that gets a $3 increase going up to $20. So fair enough. So increase in price for Game Pass and increase in price for Ultimate. Then Game Pass for console is now being phased out in favor of Game Pass Standard. However, if you still have Game Pass for console, you will be grandfathered in. So you will still have Game Pass for console, but if you ever choose to jump off Game Pass for console, then you will, when you do jump back into Game Pass, you will only have the standard option or ultimate option moving forward, or PC Game Pass. Core is just games with gold, but added as like a Game Pass tier instead. So now there's 5 tiers of Game Pass compared to PlayStation's 3 tiers, and with PlayStation, at least with PlayStation Plus, let's say, I myself personally have way too many games on my library, so I have no reason to ever get anything higher than the lowest tier. However, with Xbox, you have to contemplate, do you want those games day one? Those Xbox exclusives and things that you see in those Microsoft press conferences? Or are you happy to wait? Because currently the rumor sits at between 6 to 12 months. So rather than getting access to Xbox exclusives day one, if you were to pay a cheaper price, say for Standard, which is $15 rather than the Game Pass Ultimate for $20 a month, that $5 difference is 6 to 12 months in difference when it comes to those newer titles. Now, one very important thing to note is that in their most recent June presentation, there was a lot of games, and it was a very good presentation when it came to the game side, and they did advertise everything was coming to Game Pass day one. Now that makes me stop and question everything. And when I say it makes me stop and question everything, it means that now not only do you have to pay more for things moving forward, so it seems very unlikely that Xbox Game Pass is actually going to get more subscribers. In fact, I think you're pushing subscribers away by increasing the price in an attempt to try and get more money. But the thing is that people who have had Ultimate in the past, they're not getting grandfathered in. Instead, they just can only pay for the new price moving forward, because they're also stopping you from being able to stack multiple years of Game Pass with the same price. So they are very much trying to make you pay for more. So with all of this being said and done, I did see a video by Some Ordinary Gamers, and the video said Xbox doesn't seem like it's doing too well, and I would very much agree. It definitely does not seem like Xbox is doing particularly well. They doubled down on their bet with Game Pass by providing a bunch of games on Game Pass as part of their presentation in June, and now we are seeing the fruits of the labor of them very much putting their foot down on Game Pass by increasing the prices, which, let's be honest, like, yeah, price increases, that's kind of something that we would have expected anyways when it comes to subscriptions. But now with the addition of the whole what can be provided at day one, what tiers do have day one and which don't, that was actually a massive selling point. So I feel like PlayStation Plus kind of had the right idea from the beginning of, hey, we're going to give you access to a library of titles. They're going to obviously cycle in and out through the months, but never ever expect first party games to be there day one. That was a really good mentality. And unfortunately, because of the way Xbox has conditioned their audience, instead of buying games outright, people are just going to be like, I'll wait for it to come on Game Pass and then I can get it for free, though free being in massive air quotes. So this is kind of where conditioning your audience based on the products that are on offer in your ecosystem are now interfering with you being able to make more money than you could have had you just sold the product a la carte. Just sold the games as is, pretty much. So this really does put some things into perspective, and I'm curious to seeing how things go, because keeping in mind that we know for a fact PlayStation Plus has over 40 million PlayStation Plus subscribers, and Xbox Game Pass is only sitting at about 36 million, I want to say, something along those lines, which was last reported a couple of months ago. So I don't know if that's increased or changed all that much, but I can't imagine it really going up all that much more moving forward. So I am curious to actually hear what you guys in the audience have to say about this whole situation of what's going on, because I feel some level of vindication in terms of like, yeah, Xbox is not doing particularly well and I wish for them to do better, but by making those videos about Xbox is a failure and Xbox is still a failure, it feels like somehow me, making these videos and talking negatively about Xbox is now actually making them function worse somehow, because again, this is adding hits to their perception to the overall gaming audience. Sometimes some people can't be helped. I mean, just look at the comments that I was highlighting under the Play Stupid Games Win Stupid Prizes section of the video at the very beginning. But it very much is just interesting to see, but also incredibly sad at the same time, because yeah, you need to actually spend the money to buy the games for them to actually be able to make that, make more product. Providing too good a service to the customer means everyone else is going to suffer in the chain. It's kind of like when stuff like Grubhub and Uber Eats kind of join the fray, where the customer is getting a really good deal, they get food at a cheap price, they don't have to pay much for the actual delivery and things like that, but as a result, the delivery driver is not getting enough money because you're not paying much for delivery, and because you're paying less for the food, the restaurants themselves are getting less money, so they're not able to continually sustain themselves if they kept using something like Grubhub or Uber Eats or something like that. Pretty much everyone else in the chain is suffering except for the customer, and the same thing can be said for Game Pass. I still do think the Game Pass is a sort of poison in the industry, and the fact that everyone is trying to mimic that level of success that they only had in their first couple of years is now really starting to wane. And I feel like a lot of people are now starting to question their mindset as to where they're at with this whole Game Pass strategy. Will this Game Pass strategy maintain itself moving forward? Only time can truly tell. With that being said, I know I've been really late to this particular topic, but this one absolutely did need to be talked about. Obviously, not so much the pricing structure, not so much the price increases rather, but more so the fact that there was an additional tier. The whole advertising of day one games has gone out the window, and as a result is now retroactively hurting their previous really good presentation that they did in June as part of Summer Game Fest. But let me know what you guys think about all of that in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel, I'm aiming for 300 subs by the end of the year, and with all that said and done, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.